when Epstein committed suicide, everybody was like, it was the Clintons. And, for fun, you can go down that road and, okay, it's maybe Hillary was in the cell. But I thought it was really suspicious. I thought that does not look like a suicide. But I didn't know who did what or anything else. As things begin to fall together, it all falls together with this same group of people, and they're all connected to the intelligence community. Why are we not finding things out? Because the intelligence community has co-opted our media. All of their unnamed sources are always a former official or a current official in one of the intelligence community, and they're always lies. And then when they're exposed, the media doesn't say, well, I'm not listening to that guy again. So there must be some sort of co-opting going on. And as you look at Epstein and the connection now with the banks and the connection with the intelligence community, was he an operative doing horrible things, a really horrible honeypot situation? Was he doing things for either our intelligence agencies or others? And that's why nobody's looking into any of this stuff?
So, I have I had a top secret SCI clearance with both the CIA and the military. I mean, they're very distinct and different classifications of clearances. From everything that I've seen, everything that I've analyzed and assessed, all the news reports, because I've gone down the rabbit hole, 100% that was an intel collection operation.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind. And
correct.
And look, to give CIA credit, there's a lot of these type of things they do, which benefit our intelligence understanding, whether it's, framing people or putting them in a weird way. The benefit exists. The problem is the CIA, because it's not held accountable for a lot of these things, because they could stamp covert action on the document. They could literally classify anything at any time period they want, where nobody, because it's a compartmentalized operation, nobody will have access to that. It's called a special access program. I mean, I've been involved in special access programs in the military where only a handful of people in my own organization knew about it. And so when you're part of a SAP program, when it's covert action, when you have no obligation to communicate what you're doing to Congress, to people, and it's just something that's done in the basement of a building inside of Langley headquarters, that is a problem.
Yeah, well,
because
how does that happen with no oversight? You can't run a country like this where you have organizations and people that can say, we're not telling Congress. That is no longer a country of, by, and for the people.
Yeah, it's very disturbing. I mean, if you watch the recent congressional hearings with the head of Department of Homeland Security, the head of immigration, the list goes on. I mean, they've been getting the gauntlet and being grilled by Congress. The attitude from the institution, from the government, is we don't have to say anything to you. It's like, you work for Congress.
Right.
Congress works for constituents. Constituents are the American people. We forget that representatives are there to do a job, to get accountability. And what we're seeing from these questioning sessions is the government's attitude is we don't have to answer any of this. We don't work for you. It's like, we've gotten this all wrong.
Correct.
And that's part of the reason why I think a reset's necessary, because I think the government has lost itself in understanding what it represents. It represents the people, and this whole "we the people" idea in Washington, D.C. has gone completely off script. And now it's all about sole proprietorship. And I think that's where we're seeing the problem. When you can go into an elected position and stay for 50 plus years, come in worth nothing, come out worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
There's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a real problem. So we are getting close to running out of time. I can't believe how fast this has gone. I quickly, because I want to talk a little bit about the American people and anger. What first are you worried? What scenario are you worried about most when you think of the thing melting down? Is it the banking? Is it AI? Is it an EMP? A power hack? What do you worry most about? Most likely to happen? Do you think?
Most likely to happen is the integration of AI on a scale we've never seen before.
Yeah.
Building and driving emotions that lead to people hitting the streets and civil unrest, and then people trying to burn down the institutions. Hey, look, this is worst case scenario specifically. Civil unrest happens. Cops get in gunfights with civilians. Civilians get in gunfights with police officers. Now police can't go out and police. Now you have anarchy, because then you have patriots like me who are going to protect their own community. They come out of the woodwork, and then you have pockets of resistance across the country where the government's trying to gain control, but they don't have the aptitude nor capacity to gain control. And then
nor the trust.
Most significantly, the trust. And then what you will see is a decentralization of states locking down their own borders. I mean, I live in the wonderful state of Utah, who by all, at least on the surface, means is not subsiding to all this wokeness, all this political drama. But if we lock down our borders against people in California and Washington State, what would that look like? And all these other states, like I started American Contingency because of Chaz, which is that little microcosm of wokeness that existed in Seattle. We're likely to see AI on an unprecedented scale affect emotions because it learns behavior and can be deployed across the globe. And that's not just coming from Americans internal. That's foreign adversaries using the algorithms, the AI, to generate the emotions. I mean, why combat us when you could let the AI emotionally drive us to burn ourselves to the ground?
Yeah.